Why do you constantly say I feel blessed? Why do you say that?
I do feel blessed. I feel lucky to be alive because I'm not dead.
What?
Because I've had my life threatened. I've been through stuff. But welcome to another episode, Modern Black Man Podcast, the vlog. I got Doug with me. You hear he's asking me questions about life, and I got perception, doubt, um, amongst other things on the board today. Perception being the last one. So maybe we should put that at the top because that's kind of what Doug's talking about. Perception of blessed. Do you feel that I'm not blessed?
I would like to know what you mean when you say that. I mean, I always wonder what people when they say um, I feel blessed. Like I want to know what that feels like. I mean,
Yeah, let me tell you, I
it
will.
feel
Every
like.
day that I wake up, I'm alive. I feel like blessed. I'm very thankful. But then I feel like it goes into overdrive in life. Like things happen for me. Things maybe happen to me. But a lot of times things happen for me. No matter what it is, I'm thankful because I don't want to lose sight of how awesome life is. And I read a lot of these parables and these stories, right? Like Job, like everything is what you need to be thankful for. And when the crash comes, right today is a crash for me. I don't want to go into it, but you got to look at the big picture. So I'm blessed, bro. I'm incredibly thankful. I'm incredibly grateful. I'm incredibly blessed. That's what I mean.
So what it sounds like to me is you've made the word blessed and thankful synonymous,
Okay. All day long.
but they're not.
I don't think so.
Wait, you just wait.
Literally, I don't think that they are. But spiritually, maybe it's the same because the depth of the spirit for me is flesh. God is so much more than that. And here's something that blows my mind a lot. He had emotions. The only way you could try to mute that is to be a man and act like he doesn't have them.
Who is he?
God,
Has what?
Jesus,
He has what?
feelings.
How do you know that?
God had, oh man, okay. Oh, we're not going to go that path because I don't know that. I don't know that. But I do know that he came in the form of a man and he expressed a lot because God had the ability to use words, but he chose to express. And God, not in flesh, you can almost personify it, personalize it. But I don't know. So on the slate, perception is one of those things. People don't know you. They don't know you. So they see you and they can have feelings about you. And my whole life, I've kind of taken advantage of that because you don't know me. People don't know me. You have to get to know me to start to have any inkling or idea of knowing me. I think that goes with you as well, Doug.
I heard a wise man once say that I can't be mad or care what anybody thinks.
Mm.
They don't have my number.
Kobe?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure it wasn't Kobe. But at any rate, I think what the person was saying was essentially that if a person isn't close enough to you to at least have your number to call you to tell you that they have an issue, then there's no point in caring how they feel in the first place.
That's a better way of saying it.
I mean, but me personally, I mean, like you know me, I don't necessarily care about other people's feelings because they're not real at all. There's nothing real about a feeling. It's purely subjective.
So that's perception. I mean, I kind of agree with that. Perception, right? We talk about this a lot.
I don't know if it's perception. I mean, how I perceive something is based on um, what part of reality I'm willing to pay attention to, not necessarily what I know to be true. It's just what I'm paying attention to. Like right now, it's very quiet in my office, and if you didn't know I was in my office, you would just think that I had a burgundy chair in one of my rooms at home, because you have no idea where I'm at. But I just told you I'm in my office, and now you just like, okay, well, he has a really quiet, dark office, and it's just, well, not really dark. I turn the lights off so that I don't have a headache throughout the day. I'm just saying. I mean, you just never really know anything about what you're seeing unless you're willing to do the research as to what you are seeing.
I love that. That's my thing. I think that our world has lost the ability of being superficial because it's so superficial. It's not our fault that everyone's limited, if that makes sense.
You
Um,
has lost the ability to be superficial because it's superficial.
yeah, like everything's very superficial. Everything is so, in my opinion, blah. There's not a lot of excitement in our world. It's not to say that there's nothing new under the sun. I might be calling most people out for doing it sloppily and wrong. With that being said, I think that we've evolved to something much greater of failure, because being superficial is a failure, but now we've learned to teach superficiality as we talk more and more about perception and people's perception of the world being a superficial and artificial one. Or now with AI and social media and bad personalities, artificial. I think that that's all we have is duplication of empty vessel after empty vessel after empty vessel after.
Mm, that's profound. Um,
Tell me more.
I'm trying to absorb all you just said, but um,
It's so true. People are vapid. People are vain. People are hollow, and they do not praise his name. Again, this is not the other show, but it applies. And I mean, you can lay that fact down in the world because that's what we're talking about is how people interact with other people. And because our world is divided in all the ways that we've learned to be divisive, I think that that's what we're left with. Look at little babies. Look at kids that are like 5. They, a lot of them are weird, man. They don't know how people's faces work. They probably can't tell the difference between an AI person and a real person. Oh my goodness gracious. How old is your baby girl?
3.
Come on, man. The whole time she's been alive.
Yeah, I mean, but none of that's true in the sense of Jasmine. So I mean, I don't know.
Oh no, no, I'm not calling her. It's not. It's the world that she lives in.
No, I know.
Um,
I'm just saying, like she 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 has really good, reasoning when it comes to nonverbal communication. And I like I said, but I should say I haven't said, but I believe that it's all dependent on how you raise a kid, based not necessarily the environment that you raise them in. Um, because I'm not going to give all the credit to the world based on how my children grow up, because that takes all the blame off of me. And I think that's what we do as parents is we want to blame society for how kids are rather than blaming ourselves as parents.
amen.
But I think you are right in reference to us being, generally speaking, hollow as a people. Um, but the truth of the matter is, the world is meant to be divided. It's not meant to be
Mm,
so inclusive. It's not meant to be
my
um,
brother.
all together on everything. I don't like when people lie and say that. I mean, we're not meant to be all the same about anything. I mean,
It's so true, but
Bible
like,
the Bible itself is divisive. The whole purpose around being a Christian is separating ourselves from everyone else.
we got to talk about this because this is a different show, and people. That's that superficiality I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, you're the you're the best and the worst person to have these conversations with. You know exactly what I'm talking about, and oh my goodness, people will. Let's go into our next subtopic, which is doubt. Okay, That's how people operate in the world because they've lost their ability to connect with other people. So we have these crazy systems like this to where it's always confusion. Someone says something, right? Oh, I didn't understand what they were saying. He's from France. So they elementally can't absorb it because there's little links that you have to put together, maybe, or it's just how we get around obfuscating people that we don't like, and
You
it's got.
sound, you sound like you want to build the Tower of Babel as soon as possible.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't. I mean, tell me more.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with divisiveness. There's nothing wrong with it. It's you if you use it in a negative way, then you can find things wrong with it. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with there being different types of people groups and people that don't deal with other types of people. I mean, the whole purpose behind the development of the Israelite community was to separate one group of people from the rest of the world. So now you have Christians that are one type of group of people that are
I
separate.
don't want to talk as much about Christians, but I need you for this point. What about you're right. The there's spaces in the world where we try, oh my gosh, I'm not on your side. We try to force people together, right? Differences are put together and it never works out the way that we want it to work out because of that doubt that I'm kind of talking about. You make a great point. They're not supposed to be together. Like that's I never really took it that directly.
That's
But
because we, like I said, we don't want to. We don't. What we want to make sure that man is the focal point of reality itself. When man
mhm.
a byproduct of reality itself. It's not. We're not the focal point. So what I mean by that
Man
is
shapes the reality, and
hold on.
reality shapes man.
I
Yin
don't
and yang.
I don't mean anything in the frame of how a person thinks. I mean in the frame of what a person believes and in reference to what they doubt or what they believe. So
Proceed.
if a person believes that they're the end all be all of their life, then that means that they do doubt anything outside of themselves to be as important as they are. Now, if that's the case, then their only main focus is just finding other people like me. And therein lies your issue. What you're doing is you're just creating a people group of bottomless pits. You know what I mean? Like
Well, is that the us or the others that are the bottomless pits? It's the others that are the bottomless pits.
well, think of it this way. I don't have any doubt in my mind that God is real. So since
Right.
I don't have any doubt in my mind that God is real, that means that I live my life pleased in Him. I'm
I
not.
can't jump on that though because it's so true
I'm
and
not.
it makes us pompous.
So I mean, if I'm pleased in Him, that means that I don't have to worry about the fact that I don't run into a lot of people like me, or I don't run into. I'm not. I don't have normal conversations with a lot of people. And the reason I don't have a lot of normal conversations with a lot of people because I don't think like a lot of people. I spend my time attempting to try to think Christ-like. So if that happens, what tends to happen is I don't have regular conversation. People don't want to talk to me, and that's quite all right with me because I have no problem telling you the truth if you're willing to listen.
You're, you're my hero. I can't get to that point because people are dangerous. And that's just my limitation because you are correct. And at the end of the day, you it's not safe for everyone to to prove the position that you're proving to be true. And it's so dangerous. That's why there's a whole Vatican City. That's why there's protection and security and the spaces that are sanctified.
I don't know what you mean when you said when you threw it in Vatican City. I don't know what you mean.
I'm saying sanctified ground has to be protected.
Why would you call Vatican City sanctified ground?
It's a whole. They have nuclear weapons. Obviously, there's the corruption of the church.
sanctified. You didn't say protect. You did say protected, but you also said sanctified.
Yeah, it is. Why would the church need nuclear weapons?
The church, the Vatican is not part of the church.
Okay. Okay.
The Roman Catholic Church is not a part. Is not Christian, man. The Roman Catholic Church
I
is
had just because I know the numbers and you know how I am with the numbers. We had a great conversation about this yesterday. Do you know how many Catholics there are in the world?
not enough to make me care.
I know. Listen, listen. There's like there's more than a billion Catholics. There's more than a billion Muslims as well. And you were talking about a specific group and being special. Do you know how many Protestants there are worldwide?
No, I don't care about numbers, man.
I know. This is what I do. Less than 500,000 Protestants worldwide.
Yeah, see, that's how I know your numbers are wrong.
590. It was 590. I shied under the 90 to make it palatable in the mouth. What's wrong with my?
If you have Protestants in the minority to those two people groups, then your numbers are definitely wrong.
Why would you say that?
Because the fact of the matter is most of those polls include Catholics in with Protestants.
No, that's literally what we parsed, separating those numbers. That's why I know them.
If you parse those numbers, the Catholics should come out way smaller.
No, there's more Catholics. And that's what everybody's upset about and trying to disprove, because you talk about it all the time about Christians. Don't forget about Catholics abroad in countries like Asia, Russia, India, where the populations are booming and huge.
And most of those are Orthodox Christian nations. But my question to you is, are you talking about Roman Catholics or Catholics when you say that?
Roman Catholics?
That's what I'm saying. That's impossible that's true.
So then it's general Catholics that had it with a Catholic. And that's how I got acquainted with these numbers parsing, because in the greater number with the Protestants and the ambiguous Catholics, where we get confused, right? Because it's the same thing. I don't even know what you call a non-evangelical Catholic.
No, what I mean, what I'm saying is there is a big difference between the factions that you're speaking of. So the Roman Catholic Church is a totally different concept.
Worldwide, their church claims 1 billion bodies.
Roman Catholic or the Catholic Church? Which one is it?
Well, the Catholic Church.
Okay, so that's still included in the Christian church.
Okay, yes, but they're not Protestant Christians. That's how we were able to parse them. Just like they're not just Roman Catholics. But we had this number that we can only digest as ambiguous Catholic.
No.
They are Catholic before they're Roman Catholic.
You're wrong in your assessment, because they are Christian.
But they're not Protestant.
You don't know what Protestant means if you're not calling them Protestant. Protestant means that you're protesting against the Roman Catholic Church, not against Catholicism. You're protesting against the Roman Catholic Church. So the parse happened with the Roman Catholic Church, not the Catholic Church.
Sure, Martin Luther CC's great, but what numbers? I get what you're saying. How can we make it more accurate? How do we make this? More accurate? Pragmatic.
The simplest way is to find out or understand the difference between Roman Catholic and Catholic. Is
Orthodox, right?
Huh?
Orthodox. The Roman Catholic are exactly like you said, where the protests happen. So I mean, we have them on an island. I want to say that number is 1 billion, and then when you put ambiguous on there, it's like 1.5, and then you have to separate all those other numbers, and that's what I was able to understand at the end of all of it and be accurate with the numbers. Protestants are 590K worldwide.
Yeah, that's impossible. Because
that's where we're clocking in at.
Because we were above 4 million just last year. So how all of a sudden we lose that many?
the world is losing a lot of things, and these
You're not
numbers are evolving really quick.
that
And
many lives.
you're probably also looking at numbers from 2010 or prior.
There's no way you lost that many numbers in a year. You just said that we were less than 500,000. That's impossible. Now,
Protestants 590K.
I,
Protestants 590K. Static number, accurate all day.
that's not accurate at all. It's impossible. Because just the fact that you're saying that we haven't scratched 1 million is impossible. Because we were definitely had more than 10 million before in my lifetime. So how in the world did we get down to 500,000?
I'm going to stand on the Protestant number. Ambiguous Christian. That's open to interpretation.
People live in California.
I don't know. 40. I don't know.
What you're saying is there are more people in California than there are Christians in the world.
Oh, easily. I guess that's what the numbers say. I know what 590K is. Major American cities should be 1 million plus. Yeah. Yes. That's what the numbers panned out. The stats have shown that there's 590K Protestants worldwide. I haven't contested the results too much.
Countries that are practicing Christians, like whole countries. And you mean to tell me in a whole country, you only are probably taking out 10,000 people?
I'm so serious. As defined. That's what I found.
Between me and the rest of the world, this is why you cannot just listen to or look at the internet and say, okay, now I know the facts. This is why
what if you're cooking the books and making the numbers as you know?
Listen to what you're saying. Like, I mean, it doesn't even make sense. What you said is that there are more people in Alaska than there are Christians in the world. The majority of
more than 600,000 people in Alaska?
Huh?
There's more than 600,000 people in Alaska?
Dude, you know how big Alaska is?
And I know how big land size it is. That might make sense. But there can't be that many people there. I actually don't know the statistics. I'm not going to challenge it, but 590K is the number. Protestants 590K. The number came back 590K.
Not true, man. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Okay.
Like, I'm really trying to get you to understand how impossible that is.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm with you.
You really want me to believe what you read?
That's defined. That's what we found, and that's what we found.
No, we didn't. You found that.
I don't have anything in front of me to be working on it to even do anything but cling to it. I believe it was firm. I believe it was pretty firm.
590 people.
No, 590,000.
590,000 people. Really? Just a tick over 500,000 people in the world are Christian.
Not Christian. I said Protestant.
What is a Protestant?
No way. We're not going there. You just pressed me out all this time. No, you just told me the numbers 590K. I'm sticking to it. I'm 1,000 on it.
Okay, you're really that we're live right now, and now you refuse to answer simple questions.
Yes.
You just said Protestant, and I just said that I just said Protestant and Christian are the same thing, and then you just said on live that they're not, and I'm asking you to prove to me that Protestants aren't Christian.
Okay. Well, we can review all that, and we haven't showed it today.
If
you ever have a chance, definitely check out
Tell me
other show.
It's not a Christian. Tell me what a Protestant is. Tell me what a Protestant is if it's not a Christian.
Maybe I'm not saying that they're not Christians. It's just the division that you're talking about. I'm not even trying to make because there are differentiations and there is separation. And just like I told you, and just like
no, it's not. A Christian is one that follows Christ. Now you could tell. I mean, if we
that's
could go,
the largest number.
If we go, question to you
is the largest number.
Let's help you out. Okay, let's see if we can help your numbers.
I don't think you're helping me out.
Let's see if we can help your numbers out some.
Okay.
So, prior to the separation of the Catholic Church, which you know as we know as the Roman Catholic Church, when we put put
Reformation.
when Martin Luther started the Reformation, and it expanded. Now the Reformation expanded all the way to the currently live in.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said the Reformation spread all the way to the country that you now live in, right? So the
Yes. Yes.
now live in was created by Protestants or
Yes.
Christians, depending on how you want to define
Yes.
what word you comes first. It does not change. All of those factions came from the Roman Catholic Church. They split from the Roman Catholic Church because they realized that it was not Christian. It was not Christ-like. It was not biblical the way that the Roman Catholic Church was running things. Now,
Yes.
my question to you is simple. Just knowing that much,
Yeah.
just that tidbit.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you, like I said, you have whole countries in Europe, whole entire countries that
Oh
are
man, you're missing the stat.
that are literally
Mm-hmm.
that are literally all Christian,
Yeah.
and the minorities of those countries are, say, Muslim or atheistic or whatever the case may be, but the majority of those countries are Christian. Now, my question to you is: if you have predominantly Christian countries in many European countries, you have a lot of predominantly Christian countries in a lot of African countries now. How is it that, oh, by the way, America is predominantly still Christian? How is it that you came to the number of 590,000 Christians in the world?
Because that's not the stat that I gave.
You just said Protestant. That's the same thing.
No, they're
It is.
not. Okay.
It is. It's the same thing.
Listen, I think that's where you're missing the stat, like I keep telling you. Christian is the largest pool, right? That's going to be the largest number. We broke it down into smaller
Ooh.
in all of these tribes. Catholicism's in there, right? Protestants in there as well. And then you can go down to Kojic and like all kinds of other smaller churches.
So are you breaking down literal
sex. Yes.
Why does that matter?
It doesn't. I'm just saying that we just did a heads up comparison and we looked at those numbers, and that is the number of Protestants. And you're blown away because you're like, there's only 500. Like, you can't believe it. Like, I was like, dang. Yeah.
To you is what.
Say it again.
If a Protestant is its own denomination, give me an example of that denomination.
Baptist, fool.
So a Baptist isn't a Christian now?
Yes, it's just that it's a smaller sect. And that's what we studied, is that we just looked at all of them and we broke them down numerically. So now we have a number. That's all. I was just blown away that there's only 590,000 worldwide. You should look at the Jewish population. They're 0.02% of the world.
That's true.
Like I said, I stand on my numbers. That is what I do. I wanted to do an episode because it's funny how people are misled when they doubt things that they don't understand. It's all an allegory for our world and what it has become. Ideally, we'll stop trying to maybe resist everyone. We need to keep ourselves protected. But the way that we resist the world and block information is a byproduct of how we're overwhelmed by it. Until the next episode.
That's circular reasoning.